So hello, everyone, and welcome to this session of the Thriving Families Africa Summit. And today we are exploring a conversation that touches right in the heart of fatherhood. Many dads provide, they protect, they are expected to carry the weight of family responsibilities, but really fewer are guided on how to connect emotionally, heal from wounds, and lead with presence. And our guest today is Dr. Franc. Known to many, I know him as Frankly Speaking. That's how I met him online, as Frankly Speaking. And he's a psychologist, a parenting advisor, and a dad who speaks very candidly into the realities of modern fatherhood. Dr. Franc tackles the hard topics and does not shy away from bringing both his professional and personal depth to the conversations that he had. So we are so honored to have you today, Dr. Franc. Just say hi to everyone and tell us what it is that you do.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chakua. My name is Franc, as you've been told. I'm a psychologist. I work as a senior parenting advisor at Ushauri Mentorship Africa. My work revolves around providing guidance to parents, families, and individuals who seek to optimize their parenting or their functions in whatever role that they play within the family.
Mm-hmm.
On a day-to-day, whatever basis, I talk to mothers, I talk to fathers mostly, I talk to boys, and consult with schools, and it's a wide range of services that we do provide at Ushauri Mentors.
Mm. Yeah, and a much needed service, really. And I guess in the field that we are in, definitely it skews more towards women. We're the ones who are providers of these services. So for me, it really excites me. And I feel so honored to be able to have a dad who is actually in this space speaking into this. So just, speak to us a little bit about the landscape of fatherhood and how things have been how things are changing. We talk a lot about women empowerment and sometimes how that might be a disadvantage in bringing both the girls and the boys on the same level. So just let's start with there.
Okay, that is a very good starting point. There's a lot of changes happening, especially when it comes to fatherhood.
Mm.
And this is something that is visible across the different communities or classes of individuals. You see fathers trying to sort of rise up, be different from their own dads.
Right.
You see more fathers now participating in school events. You see more fathers with their daughters and their sons in malls, in places, public, whatever places. And you also see like the kind of relationship or the connection that they have is somewhat different from what we experienced while growing up. And this is very interesting in the sense that there is a desire, it's an indication, there is a desire for growth. There is a desire for knowledge. There is a desire for modeling or being shown examples as to what they need to do as dads or fathers. The landscape is not necessarily well promoted because very few people are coming out or are willing to come out and talk about fatherhood. So you actually see the participation and involvement,
Mm-hmm.
but less conversations about it, and especially conversations that are regarded to be a bit self-revealing, emotional,
Right.
or where they're likely to be vulnerable. So most of the conversations are more or less like the macho kind of conversations. So like as a man, as a father. And they speak about it as if like being a father or being a man is not human, or it's a separate web identity from being a human being. So those the physical, the spiritual, whatever aspect, the cognitive, people are having conversations in those whatever areas. But we are seeing some form of shallowness, or especially when it comes to the emotional connection, the emotional conversations, and just discussing vulnerabilities and skills that probably are needed, but they are not there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of changes, yes, which is a good or ever thing. This is just the beginning. I believe like in a few years' time, we'll see more fathers coming out and sharing their own whatever experience, either from a professional whatever point of view or a lived experience as fathers. It's a good whatever development for now.
Yeah. So essentially, there's a change. You can see there's more interest. There's more, you actually, like you said, you see fathers out there really trying to get involved because they know what they should do. There's almost a sense of, this is how I was raised and I would like to do it differently. But I think, like you're saying, it's in the gap. The gap is in the how, and the gap is in, the nitty-gritty. For example, you talk a lot about present fatherhood. From a father's perspective, what does present fatherhood actually look like?
Well, when I started, the very first time when I became a father, that was over 20 years ago. My first forever role was simply to pay for the hospital bill.
Yeah.
And go pick the mother and my son from the hospital, take them home. And I knew, like, this is fatherhood. I'm happy, the mother is happy, and my work is done. So I never had like any sort of experience or lessons that taught me, hey, this is how you need to conduct yourself. So day one, I realized my son was born in April, so it was a cold weather season. And I realized that I didn't have any clue as to how to take care of a young one, leave alone take care of the mother, just come from the hospital. So I'm like, I chose what I felt safe with, as in leave the mother and try to spend time with this young man. And then I was like, now, what do I tell this 5-day old son? Yes, even if I say like, I'm proud of you, I'm happy to see you, he really understand what I'm saying, or I'll just be having a conversation with myself. So there was a lot of staying awake whatever days during those initial days, and it started occurring to me that this is a little human being who's no different from any of us. They have a mind, they have the eyes, the ears, and everything. So I started talking to him, and the things that I said back then were, "Welcome to this family. In this family, we have." So and so is your grandmother, grandfather, you don't have any brothers, you're the first one, those kind of things. And I was doing that in the confines or the privacy of my home. And later on, I realized that it was very easy to simply talk to him because he didn't have any speech or something like that. And say words, I would give instructions. And surprisingly, by around 7-8 months, he would sort of respond to that. And at that time, I made a decision, like, I want to be present. I want to witness this person, stand up, walk, I take pictures. I want to go with him to work and everything. I want to spend time with him. Even though I didn't know, like, what I needed to be in order to sort of attend to his needs, other than just feeding him and changing his diapers and making him comfortable. But now, the other thing that also made me realize, like, my role was my mom. She kept on calling, like, every other day. And her instructions were very simple. Keep the baby warm. Make sure you cover the baby. Make sure the baby is warm and everything. And I'm like, why is that important? Said, this season is likely to get pneumonia, so cover. Make him warm and everything. So I had to go buy a heater to just make this baby warm, despite the fact that the house was warm enough and all those kind of things. And gradually, I started realizing that the first layer of presence is simply providing that safety or protecting this young person. And it was not even protecting him from the dangers of the world, but simply protecting him from the diseases, the risk of getting an infection. Right. And, that became my first forever role. And later on, when I now went back to work after like about 2 or 3 months, I kept on thinking that I need to protect this young person. I didn't know exactly the spectrum of protection or the scope or the things, but I knew keep him warm, keep him warm, keep him warm, keep him warm. And when he started like forming his first forever words, and people would come to see him and talk to him with that gibberish, maybe whatever language. I found that like a bit uncomfortable. So working towards the presence has been more or less discovering myself first, and then trying to figure out like what this child needs. And of course, allowing people in that father-son space with different kind of advice, comments, and everything. I realized that being present is simply being able to protect them. Being present is talking to them until that point where now you can talk with them, you can have a discussion, conversations about very many whatever issues. And then I also realized that my expression of love has to be sort of verbalized, as opposed to how I was brought up. Like if your dad bought you a pair of shoes, a new school uniform, it was very quick for us to interpret that as love, and it is done and dusted. You don't even need to question like, do you really love me? But you see the uniform and that new pair of shoes. Being provided with food was enough indication that your parents love you. And as I was growing, I realized like as a father, I can no longer follow that narrow script. I need to say that, hey, son, I love you. I love you. I appreciate you, as in getting the words. And every time, as a present father, even up to now, when I use those words, you see him sort of receive them with a lot of gratitude, and he feels honored to have those words spoken to him. So I realized, like, one, I wanted to be a different father. Of course, as in using my dad's whatever wisdom and experience, putting all that together, and I said, okay, I want to be present. One of the things that I also learned is that to be present cannot be outsourced. It's something that you cannot outsource and tell someone else to because you either have a vision as to how you want your son to grow and turn out to be, or you simply do your stuff and let things take their own whatever course, and sometimes it's a bad whatever course. So I made a point, like a decision. I wanted to be present. I wanted to show him love. I wanted to sort of protect him. I wanted to guide him. I wanted to have these conversations with him because growing up, there's some conversations I wish I had with my own father.
Yeah.
But we didn't have that. Either he was busy with work or dealing with his own family issues. And I told myself, like, in as much as he was present, yes, I want a different kind of presence for my son. The kind of presence not where we just sit and look at one another and smile, no, a presence where we are friends, we are buddies, we talk, we are playful with one another, we are free. Because at the end of the day, I realized that when I started doing that with my father during his late years, the old man really, really enjoyed that connection. And I told myself, like, I wish he had taken that step when I was in my teens to reach out and just talk. And talk and connect and have this self-revelation of experiences. How was it growing up? Did it turn out the way you dreamt it to turn out, or what are these challenges and all those kind of things? And so my father started revealing himself to me in my 30s. And in my 30s, my son was about a year or so. And I said, okay, this is a very nice thing, yes. He's now present in my life, of course, as in through a phone conversation. We would talk every evening, as in he would call and say, hey, Frank, how are you doing? How was work and everything? How is Mijuku, as in my grandchild and everything? And through that, now the son was able to bring us together now because we now had a common issue to discuss. And that now opened very many other doors in regards to the things that we all have talked about and we didn't talk about. We went through the whole idea of trust, why I didn't trust him, why he didn't trust me with my college years, why he did what he did and I did what I did, and all those kind of. So it was more or less like a therapeutic conversation, sharing and opening up and everything. And as I was doing that, of course, my interaction with my peers, I realized like we don't have those kind of conversations. So my father became more present in my life in my 30s. Yes. So my decision to be present in this young man's life was actually sparked by now father being present. Now I need to do the same. And he was able to explain to me now why he was behaving and acting the way he did. And from that, I picked my lessons. So being present for me is connection. Is connection, and that connection is it's a foundational form of trust. They trust you because you will never ever connect with someone if they don't trust you, if they don't believe that you have their best interest at heart. And as a father, you don't believe that the son's behavior is simply not out to make you look or come across as a bad whatever father. It's simply a young person who's trying to find his way, understand the world and those kind of things. So it is about like that trust. It is about love. It is about journeying together and discovering your own unique identities, you as a father and him as a son and a human being, trying to know where you belong and also finding meaning in this whole thing called life. Why are we here? What is our moral identity, and what are these things that we cherish, and why do we cherish them for those things? Why are we like seeing these interests and not that? So it is also about guidance, trying to sort of help him discover not the right way of thinking, but a very, very objective way of things. And this is time consuming, and the benefits are immense. I've started reaping, of course, the fruits of that. I remember also working away, traveling a lot and everything. And I would come back after 2 or 3 months. I look at him and I notice like the things that we had worked on previously during my present time. They've been eroded. Now he's someone else and he's picked up other whatever habits. So it made me realize that if I leave work, I won't be able to provide for him. And if I continue working without putting measures in place to be present while he's growing up, then I'm likely to lose him. So I came up with this ritual where I would call him every day at 6, between 6 and 7. From wherever I was, I would make sure that I call him over and say, hey, I want to speak to so and so. And by that time, of course, the sister had come along. So they knew that between 6 and 7, Dad is going to call. And we'll talk about academics, we'll talk about you, we'll talk about the events in your life, we'll talk about your friendships and everything. And you can imagine some of those conversations were sort of one-sided in the sense that you'd call and say, hey, Dad, there's something I need to tell you. Do you know Akina so-and-so? And then it'd go on for like 30 minutes and then say, hey, your time is up. Give your sister the phone. Another 30 minutes. Say, now, I'm so happy that I your voices and I'm well, I'm thinking about you, praying about you, the evening pray for me, ABC and the those kind of things. So we started forming like a ritual. So one of the things that I also realized is that presence is having routines, having those things that you do on a daily, whatever basis, or even on a weekly basis. And these are constant reminders that even though you may not be there physically, but your presence is felt, your presence is experienced every other day or every other whatever week. Later on, when he was getting into his teenagehood, I realized like he's withdrawing a lot, and a lot of his stories are sort of not very, very clear or authentic. I sensed like I was being given one side, and the side that most likely I would like to hear. So I told myself like, hey, I'm going to dial down a bit on work. Started working from home. Said, okay, I need to know. We need to be together. I'll take you to school every day. I'll pick you every day. I'll take you for your football or whatever practice. I'll take you to those birthday parties and meet your friends and everything. And of course, as a 10-year-old or whatever boy, he was like, now this is too much. And others would tell him, you go with your dad everywhere. You're not free. You're not, where is your mother and everything? And I told the mother, like, just allow me to be in his time, and especially those important moments. So in the morning, during those morning, whatever drives, we talk about academics, talk about teachers, talk about friendships, talk about time, talk about so many things. And what I did was to be deliberate, be present in a comforting, encouraging, secure way, as opposed to be harmfully present. Yes, because you can be present, yes, but you're harmful to them. And in fact, your absence is more of a safety than your presence. So say, okay, I want to spend time with him in a manner that makes him very, very comfortable, very, very trusting. He feels that safety, he feels that love, he feels that connection and everything. And it was a struggle, but eventually now he sort of opened up and started now having daily conversations now. From the morning and evening, wherever pickups or rides to school, Sunday, church, we discuss the sermon and what his more whatever mind tells him the sermon is all about, and try just to get a feel like what he's going through, how he sees the world, correcting some of those perceptions, and even now protecting him from toxic interpretation of what parenting is. Yes, because at that age, they'll come and say, hey, if your dad really, really loved you, then he would allow you to go for a sleepover. That is what parents would say, hey, that is not even right. And because I was in that space where, of course, I'm making decisions as a present father. I know what is happening in his life and dealing with the misinformation or the narratives that are being peddled out there, trying to reset that. And one act after the other, for me, like as it is right now, being present is not just the physical or whatever bit. It is the emotional, the spiritual, the cognitive, and all those important things that they need. Because if you're simply let's say present to express whatever love, then that is a good whatever thing. But what about trust? What about belonging? What about helping him make meaning out of this life? What about safety and everything? And if we choose the wrong whatever script, then we don't discover ourselves. We simply sort of satisfy rather than meet the needs of these people we brought into this world. So being present is simply understanding what they need in terms of the psychological development or whatever needs. They need love. Do you have the capacity to express that love? Do you express love in a way or manner that they understand? And not just what they like, because for a child, at times getting that pizza and not eating your vegetables might be interpreted as love. But now, as a father, being present and showing them what love means, and being consistent with that whatever expression, and then providing that guidance why that one is not love and this is love. And even coming up with an admission like I'm struggling with this, or I have challenges with this because it was not taught to me, but together we can figure it out. Figure it out, and of course that is being present. Being present is also taking some baths
from them.
Yes, from them, because you're a man and you're the closest man they have in their lives. So they'll also want to test you as a person, because once they attend, okay, you've provided them with that sense of safety. Now they'll start exploring the boundaries and even practicing some of their bad habits, which probably they don't even know that they're bad habits on you because they feel safe with you. They'll try to answer back, make a nasty or ever comment, and even make comments, negative comments about the mother and everything. But I was just, because you're present, you're able now to take that
Right.
and respond to it in a way that helps them to have the right kind of perspective and even expression of emotions, as opposed to simply saying, "Hey, have you finished your homework? How was school? School was okay. Have you finished your homework? Yes. When are your friends coming over on Saturday?" And so you end up like you're moving forward, yes, but with a lot of gaps.
Yeah.
Being present is actually filling those gaps. The curiosity, whatever gaps, the spiritual, whatever gaps, the physical, whatever gaps. There are times when I'm so have a lot of work to do, and he comes in, and that's when he wants to tell me about this interesting topic in philosophy.
Yeah.
And I have to sit there and listen
Listen,
without showing, like, "Hey, I'm tired. I have a lot of work to do," and all those kind of things. And through that, something else will come up, maybe about a friend, about a lecturer, about an event. Then it will open a door for a fresh kind of perspective, or guidance, or correction. Those kind of. So being present is just a wholesome whatever.
You've spoken, on a very wide spectrum on what it means to be present. And for me, I'm hearing intentionality, intentionality, intentionality. It will not just happen. And I like just the fact that you wove in the being present in terms of also protecting them from harm, which is physical harm. Because sometimes we start thinking about present fatherhood and we think, okay, let's put the protecting and the providing on the side, and present is it's actually literally the holistic aspect. One thing that has also really stood out for me from your story is how, as you are being intentional about being present with your son, something happened with your dad as well. And there was sort of a triad of connection that was going on between all the three of you. And I know that sometimes it is hard for not just men, but even women to be able to pass that on and to do that with stability if they have carried some issues and father wounds or mother wounds from their past. And I know you are in this space, and I know that you get a lot of, so let's just talk about fatherhood. You get a lot of fathers who come in with emotional wounds from their past. So maybe just speaking to that space, how they do carry wounds from their upbringing, how can they seek healing in ways that are intentional? I am clear, for you to be able to do what you do and the way you do it with your family, it's because you've really worked through your own issues from the past. So how can fathers heal or begin that journey of healing?
Okay. Now, healing from father wounds is something that is very, very complex, and we need to simply go back and understand, like, what are these dimensions? Because we come from different families and different communities, and the father wounds are as diverse as the families themselves. But what I came to realize is that there are four common areas. If you want to heal, and if you want to sort of discover like a healing pathway for yourself as a father, you need to know like what really hurt you. And sometimes this question is posed to men, like discover what hurt you and how you were hurt. And there's no blueprint as to tracing how that happened, because these hurt and these wounds come as a result of very many years of pain, and pain related to a father, caused by a father, or certain things that happen. So I get to realize like there's that pain of absence, where there's either neglect, deliberate, or absence as a result of maybe a father passed on, or a father has never been there in your life. Maybe when you were born, the father was not there. There was a separation or a fallout between your mom and dad. Later on, maybe it is absence as a result of separation, divorce, and so many other whatever things. So there's that pain that is caused by not having had a father. Then there's the second aspect of pain or fatherhood is you had a present father, but the presence was harmful. it was harmful in the sense that either they were violent, they were very, very, their words sort of hurt you, their actions. Yes, they are present. You'd see them every other day coming from work, or they are present. When, let's say, when you do your child with whatever register, dad, present, mom, present. But now, presence to do what? Or what does the dad do? So, violence, emotional abuse, lack of that affirmation, and all those kind of things. That is another wound. And then we have now the third one, which is damaging experiences. Damaging experiences, like, yes, the father was present, but the actions and the events within the family were not healthy. For example, I've come across young people who say, hey, I caught my dad with our house girl when I was less than years old, and I was sworn into secrecy not to tell my mom, but all I wanted the family to remain together. So you see, like, a child has experiences within the present fatherhood, but these experiences are damaging. Or you come across fathers who are very nice, everything is okay about them, they take care of their family, but they don't know how to sort of spark growth and encourage sort of formation of a very, very strong maybe identity, or that self-esteem or confidence, something like that. So they experienced fatherhood with more or less a shortfall in so many whatever areas. It can be spiritual. You grew up with a father who didn't believe in moral whatever issues, or going to church matters, faith, or going to the mosque, and or even connecting with people, trusting people, those kind of things. So that is a separate whatever wound. And then the fourth one is usually how you relate with your father, or how you related with your father.
Okay.
What kind of connection was it? Was it simply a one-sided kind of relationship where you receive instructions, whether you understand them or not? Was there some distance between you and your father? Something that you can't explain, you couldn't explain, you didn't even understand why it happened. So when you look at those four whatever areas, you realize, like, the wound of absence, the wound of damaging presence, then hurtful experiences, and poor connection, trust, relationship, and all those kind of things. Now, grow up into a man with those wounds. For you to heal, you must understand which is your major wound. Yeah, from the four. Sometimes you come across people who have all the four dimensions in themselves as wounds. Once in a while, you come across someone who's only affected by one. And in my own whatever experience, like when it comes to relationship with my dad, it was simply pure logic. I pay fees, you go to school. When you go to school, you pass exams, as simple as that. And it was not like, do you know I sacrificed to pay fees for you? Now, when you go to school and you start playing around, you're likely, no, it was, hey, young man, I pay fees, go to school, you work hard, pass exams.
No conversations, no conversations.
Yes, there's no conversations about that. It was simply like, I do this, you do that. And we are all happy. If you don't do that, then it's up to you. It's up to you. Because even one of the strongest whatever messages I got, especially when it comes to high school, is that if you don't make it to the university, I'm going to drink all your university fees. Yes. And I'm like, okay, this is what you're saying. And he said, remember, Frank, I have your university fees covered 4 years. Yeah. Whichever, whatever course you're going to pursue at the university. But now, if you don't, the day your results come out and you don't attain university entry, that day I'm going to drink all your money. And I'm like, okay, now, this one, in my mind, I told myself, like, I'll make sure that you don't have any money to drink on that whatever day. So the kind of relationship that I had And let me not even call it a wound or something. It was, hey, this is someone who's supposed to be caring and A, B, C, and D. They're telling you, do this, I'll do this, you do that. If you don't do that, then the consequences are not even on you as a person, life and everything, but I'm going to spend your money. So my motivation in Form 3, Form 4 was to make sure that he pays that university fees, doesn't drink that money.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a battle. I would study not because I wanted to be in the joy of having attained excellence.
Mm-hmm.
I studied because I wanted to deny him something that he really, really wanted,
Mm-hmm.
or so to speak. And it was a negative motivation.
Right.
And I grew up thinking that, hey, he doesn't love me. Later on with the connection, I was able to understand what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Being the only educated person in a polygamous family, being someone who pushed other people to go to school, and their mothers would tell them, like, even those who don't go to school are still alive.
Mm-hmm.
So my son, don't bother going to school. Don't be forced to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Only later on for him to carry the entire financial burden.
And of the others.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
From his brothers and all those guys. Because I used to think, like, this guy has money, but why is he like so stingy with his money? It's because he was sharing out with, I don't know, the stepmothers, the aunties, the stepbrothers, and everything, taking care of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And his frustrations with me was later on I came to understand, and he told me this. I was worried that you might turn out like my stepbrothers.
Mm-hmm.
And if you turn out as my stepbrothers, then you'll be a burden. So the only words I had within me is to challenge you.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I knew about you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I tell you this, you'll do the opposite.
Right.
Okay. So healing is simply one, discovering what hurt you,
Mm-hmm.
how you were hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and how does it affect you. Because you can imagine a person whose father was present and the father had difficulties expressing his love for this child.
Mm-hmm.
So they go around looking for affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
And as they look for it, remember, they don't have a blueprint from within the family as to what love looks like. Mm-hmm. They have a blueprint of what love doesn't look like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that they are unable to, even if, let's say, they found someone who's so much in love with them, likes them for who they are in terms of character and everything, they'll always be suspicious, because as a child, they tried everything possible to be liked, to be loved, to be affirmed, but it was so high a bar for them to reach, and the quest simply gains permanence within them. So healing starts with that awareness. Like, am I okay? Was I brought up okay?
Mm-hmm.
And once you have that awareness, then you will know which path to take or which path you need to pursue. Mm-hmm. Very many times people come in for sessions and say, like, I need to heal from father wounds. Mm-hmm. And you ask them, which wound are we talking about?
Right.
Say, I just feel like my father did not bring me up well. Mm-hmm. Okay, so how would he have brought you up? And they start, like, now fishing for reasons and evidence and everything. So without that clarity, without that sense of awareness, you won't know, like, which path to take in order to journey through that process of healing.
So you talked about coming, first of all, figuring out which pathway of wounding, which pathway of wounding, just being able to decide. I really like, those 4 sources of wounding, because they help us to now touch, we say in the mental health space, you heal from what you acknowledge. So being able to say, this is what it is. And for you, the journey of now, which pathway do I take? Your journey was taking the pathway of looking actually for the reasons why for your dad and connecting with your dad and being able to find out the reasons from the conversations that you were having. And I'm just wondering, for those parents or for those dads who may not be able to have that opportunity to actually speak to the dad, either because the estrangement is there's too much, for lack of better word, we like to say toxicity or a lot of conflict,
Yes.
or just maybe they're not there at all, like maybe they've passed away. So how do fathers begin to navigate healing in that space?
Now, for those whose fathers are not present, I usually say that the biggest skill when it comes to the journey towards recovery is coping with your present situations and coping with your decisions and the visions that you have, as in being able to adjust and have your own version of interpretation that is healthy for you and not necessarily for the other person. Because you may want to pursue healing, but the other person is not interested in healing, and they will even tell you in your face, I'm not interested. You, as a young person, you're my son or my daughter, and you cannot teach me how to be your parent. And that in itself is a big whatever slap on.
And it happens a lot. It happens a lot. Yeah.
Yes. And I had someone in a father and sons whatever conversation, and he said, "You're talking about forgiveness, but do you know how difficult it is to forgive?" And I said, "Okay, what is the difficult part in the forgiveness whatever scheme of things?" And he said, "How do you forgive someone who's unapologetic? They still feel like it was their right and they did the right whatever thing and all those things." I said, "Okay, that is difficult. But remember, your journey towards healing and forgiveness is not entirely tied to the reactions of the other, whatever person. It is not tied to the expectation that they'll be receptive to your journey and your healing. And if the healing is even the proposal for forgiveness and other stuff, they are rejected, how are you going to cope with it? Are you going to like hurt some more, or simply say, no, I'm not going to allow him to hurt me, because this is a different person they have their own feelings, they have their own perspectives, and I'm a different whatever person. What do I choose for my own, or what should I choose for my own whatever healing to take place? If I'm being presented with confrontations, should I retaliate with harsh words and make comments that will hurt them and distance us, or I simply get to understand like why I need to take this path, why I need to heal? And you may not get the motivation from the past,
the other person,
but you may find purpose and motivation from what is presently visible in your life. For example, when I laid my eyes on my son, when I interacted with him, I made a decision based on what was now within my control. I say, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to approach it, without knowing whether the other person is going to be receptive, whether the other person is going to be supportive, whether the other person is going to show a willingness to take this journey with me. And because I made that whatever decision, it was more for me and my family that I had, as opposed to the family that I grew up in. So through the journey, now my dad was able to come in, my brothers were able to come in, my mom was able to come in. See, because sometimes healing will not take place with the people you think ought to be part of the healing process. But healing will take place when you choose and say, hey, I need to correct. Example, like when it comes to my son and dating, I told him, hey, young man, it is good you have a girlfriend. I never had a girlfriend at your age. I had a girlfriend later on, almost 40 years old. But now, during your first year, you have a girlfriend. Do you know what that means? It means lots and lots of good things. But it also puts you closer to very, very serious kind of risks. What are these good things? One, you'll feel like someone else other than your parents love you, appreciate you, they're willing to spend their time with you and all those kind of things. and it will make you even more popular among your peers. It will make you feel like you're becoming a man, which is a good. But there's sex. If you have sex, chances are that you'll be unable to control yourself. She might end up being pregnant. You're 19, she's 19, you end up having a child at 19. Do you know what that means? It means some of this money that you get from me as your allowance will have to go towards taking care of a baby. And you know me, Dad, babies are expensive. I just look at how much money you spend on us, and I'm thinking, well, I can't have a baby right now. Say now, you know what? You must make that decision before the moment comes.
Yeah.
You cannot be half naked and then you're making a decision not to make it. No, your emotions will take over.
Right.
Make that decision right now that I don't want a baby now.
Yeah.
So how do I not get a baby?
Then you work it backward. Yeah.
So you can say, okay, I can use a condom. Say, okay, but it is not 100% safe. Anything can happen. And then you don't want to have an accidental whatever child. We never planned for this, but now, you know, God, through his mysterious whatever ways, we ended up, no. So in that conversation and that safety and that trust, he said, okay, no sex. So he goes and tells the girlfriend that I don't think I'm ready and I want to, our relationship have sex in it. And they go on like that. When it comes to spending money, I tell him, hey, do you know what? You have a girlfriend. I give you an allowance. If you decide to spend like the whole allowance on her in one whatever day or in one whatever event, then you'll, for the rest of the month, you'll simply have to walk to campus. Mm-hmm. Because once it is given to you, it is for you to manage it to last. So when he was going for his first whatever date, he comes and says, Dad, I have this many years, but the places that we go to, if I take her there, I'll end up spending like 5,000 shillings on meals. And I think I'm not yet there. Are there some places you know of that are cheaper, they have a good ambience? And I asked him, hey, what is your budget? He said, I don't want to spend more than 1,500. I said, 1,500 per person or for the two of you? I said, for the two of us. I said, now, the risk there is that you might end up going to cheap whatever places. Why don't we scout for a few places in town before your date gets, before the appointed whatever date? So we visited 1, 2, 3, and then we found a spot and said, okay, now, see this one, the ambience, the juice, all those kind of things. So working together because of that whatever trust. Yeah. And then while on the date, we also talk about, can you please, how is it going? And he sends me a picture of a plate and 2 forks. Of course, the food is done. I said, oh, okay, you start sharing food from the same plate on day 1. Okay, just take it slow and just get to know. And of course, when they trust you and you widen the topics that you can talk about, it becomes very easy to discipline because that in itself is preventive rather than reactionary. Yes. Because reactionary whatever discipline tastes like bitter whatever medicine.
And it pushes the child away and it gets in the way of the relationship again. I know that you have so many practical examples that you're giving us, Dr. Frank, and I know we can really go on and on. Yes, because they are really practical. And especially, I've really liked, especially this last part when you're talking about how to, the kind of wisdom you are imparting when it comes to dating. I think that's a very important conversation that sometimes we don't have, especially between fathers and sons. So I guess even as we wrap up, I'm just thinking this boils down to being present, your child being able to trust you in those things, and also just being very practical in the conversations. Take a picture when you're having a meal, we see those 2 folks, that becomes another point of discussion. Yeah. So even as we wrap up, just in the next even 30 seconds to 1 minute, what kind of encouragement can you give fathers in this very noble but not very easy task of raising children in today's world?
I would say this, and there's no shame in being a good father. And no dad out there should be embarrassed for trying to be a good father. You may not get it the first time, But the intention and the constant pursuit for becoming, let's say, a good or a bad dad is what will help you discover what you need to say, what you need to do, and how your child responds to what you do, what you say, and together you can forge a new whatever relationship. It is not late, and it has never been late. The only time probably it will be late is when one of you is 6 feet under, then there's no repair there. If I was able to repair my relationship with my dad when I was 30 and he was like 50 or so, then it can be done. It can be done. One person must be ready and willing to take that step. So whether it is emotional, whether it is spiritual, whether it is physical, whether it is just any other whatever issue, remember you are the father and you are the man in this person's life. And you have the advantage of being the older one. So you're allowed to change, to improve. And they don't want perfect parents. They just want a present, intentional parent who's doing what they can, and you keep on improving yourself on a day-to-day regular basis. Eventually, you'll be a wonderful dad and a wonderful person to your family.
Thank you. Thank you. I think the biggest one here is it's never too late. If you could do it between your dad and yourself at 50 and at 30, as long as you are alive, it is never too late to make the effort and to be even more intentional. Thank you so much, Dr. Franc, for the wisdom you have brought into the summit, and particularly for the everyday examples that you have given us, because really that's what we are looking for. We're looking for everyday examples. How does this look like? So we are removing it from theory to actual.
Yes.
And I know a lot of dads have benefited from the wisdom that you have given. For those who would like to get in touch with Dr. Franc, we will have his contacts and all the things that he does, especially the amazing conversations that he has online on Frankly Speaking. We will have all those resources amongst the summit resources, and please make sure you check it out and look out for him and connect with him and the amazing work that he does. Thank you so much, Dr. Franc, for making time today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. You have a wonderful afternoon and God bless.
Okay, thank you.